Rob and I were talking. I actually did a shorter. I did a shorter version this year or this time because I just wanted to get rid of that middle lag time. It's and especially like when you have two kids and stay-at-home dad, your ability to do the most that you could do kind of is limited. So I felt that I had a bunch of signings and I had a convention that would be mixed in between. So I thought it was a good time to go. And it's been awesome too because I've been working with Marcel Dupree, Kevin Parent, Dan Doherty, and countless others that have also been running Kickstarters. And we've been really working off of each other, so it's been great. But we're over 100% funded. We are less than $1,000 away from another free bonus reward, which would be a Brigby and Tier sticker. Everybody loves stickers, and I'm really hoping to get to the $9,000 magnet. Everybody gets a free magnet reward because everything free is fun.
Now, I've always heard that it's problematic. You really must like your fans to be able to give away something like that, because most people find that giving away magnets and stuff, it winds up costing, but you're always giving things back to the fans.
Well, honestly, this is all just a pre-sale. I wanted to, the money that I get from this goes right back into the comic, and I do. We did a patch reward on the last one, and people loved it. And the best part is when people are asking for that patch, and it's a part of like a double-edged sword where it pains me to say no, you can't have it because it's a Kickstarter exclusive. But then that also makes them realize that, like jumping on the Kickstarter benefits them because you get these collector's items. Like right now you're looking at the salvagers where you see Brigby sitting there and there's Atomic Bomb in the background. That is a Sean Daly exclusive cover. And the only place that you can get the variant covers are through the Kickstarter. I know a lot of people discuss, the things about variant covers and how they don't like variant covers and they might be gimmicky. But when you do variant covers in this way for Kickstarters, you're basically giving a reward option to people who, are coming out and doing the pre-sale and are having fun with you on Kickstarter. And that's, the whole point is to do fun things on Kickstarter and give something to the people. So there you go right there. There's the stretch goals. The middle one there is a sticker, and the bottom one there is a magnet. This, I think that, I don't know, I had that at 10. I think that was supposed to be 9. I'll have to change it because that is, that last one's a $9,000 Kickstarter, unlocking it at $9,000. So I have to change that. Sometimes everything passes us by and we miss it. But so this has been a fun Kickstarter. It's been very entertaining, and again, working with the different people that are also doing Kickstarters has been fun. And you get to interact with them. And anytime I look at doing Kickstarters as a way to build your fan base. If you can get this in front of people who don't know your work, I always have at least one person, if not more, during a Kickstarter that they basically tell me that this is the first time that they've seen Salvagers, which is great because you want that. You want to use this also as a tool to build your fan base. So that's been working out for me as well.
Now, how's it with Source Point Press going for you? I know
Press has been going great. When I was self-publishing this. There was only so much you can do, even if you're hardworking. I think I was probably cold calling 20 stores a day to get my books in there, and it wasn't happening. I think because independent publishing, they kind of feel like, well, if how often is this going to be out, and this is something my customers are going to come and buy, and then they're never going to see it again. So one thing being with Source Point Press or being with other small press publishers is that reputation and for being able to put things out consistently. So yeah, working with Source Point Press has been great. Working with the people, the creators at Source Point Press has really been great for me as a creator myself because they push you, and I've learned a ton. I've really I realized how much how little rather I knew about comics and making comics and writing comics until I came into Source Point Press. And my son's here babbering. Hold on one second. Go get your binky. Go find Josie and go get your binky. Sorry about that.
It's okay. You're all
so yeah, Source Point Press has been great. You know, I got another book coming out this fall called Ogre that is going to be with Sean Daly. It's one of the reasons why I had Sean do the variant cover in this is because I wanted to kind of introduce Sean to my Salvagers fan base. That way, when Ogre comes out, they already know his work, and hopefully they're become fans of his, and they'll want to jump on that. That's actually going to be strict diamond diamond distribution. Hey, there's my pretty face. Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. It's gonna be only available through Previews World. So if you want it, you'll have to go to your local comic shop, and obviously, you know, we'll have it at conventions as well. But we're really looking to make a good impression on Diamond, and you know, hopefully get it into the top 300 club. You know, so it's what's great. But it's a great book. I'm really proud of it, and I can't wait to start putting that out there. And you know, along with Salvagers and everything else I'm working on.
Now, you're a little busy. I don't want to hold you. I just have two more questions for you.
Yep.
First one being more of a compliment, and to I think a lot of your rise has been based upon the fact that you really do reach out to helping people in the community. You've always given back as you've grown. Have you found it to be where you've mentored someone at this point? Have you gotten to that point where you feel like there are people you're helping and you feel like you're giving back finally to like people gave to you?
I actually do, and it's been great. And it's one of the things that when I first started out, there, you know, there really wasn't. At least I wasn't a part of it. I wasn't really a part of the community that there is now that I am a part of. You know, it was Gary Reed was the one person who I reached out to, who actually gave me time and talked to me, and was you know, a great person's wealth of knowledge. And he's the one actually when I finally submitted. You know, I've not submitted, but in talking to him, I showed him Salvagers, and I asked him if it's something Caliber Comics would want, and he said that, you know, he really enjoyed it and everything, but he said that he thought that Source Point Press would be a great place for it. So that's Gary Reed is actually the reason I'm with Source Point Press, and so yeah, there was mentors out there, and you know, I have gone through my career in comics. If somebody, I would never turn somebody away. I feel like, you know, the best thing that we can do is help each other out. All ships, you know, what do they say, that the tide raises all ships, and so yeah, it's been. Sorry, my daughter just came in here and I told her to get out, and she's all crabby at me. So yeah, so I definitely feel like that there are some people that come to me, and again, I will never turn them away, and hopefully that I can give them some nugget of information that will help them get past the you know, the hurdles of what making comics throws at you.
Oh yeah, and of course the final thing to ask is give us your pitch. I know you're busy. Tell us why. What's happening? What's going on with this? This seems very different than the other Salvagers. This doesn't seem like the Salvagers we've gotten used to. What's going on?
Well, so this is Act 3. You know, we had Salvagers Abandoned Cargo is where we were introduced to the main crew. Wreck Raiders is where they were on their way home, and they've had some nasty pirates come after them, and that now has turned into them being, you know, I'd say Wreck Raiders kind of was like my Empire Strikes Back. It ended with just mayhem and a lot of question marks, and now here's Act 3. The Blackbane agents are going to be coming at them, and you know, like in writing, you have to raise the stakes. So you know, these guys are nastier than anything, and they are going to wreak havoc in this Salvagers universe.
Well, I've always, I've said it, this is being something that should be a cartoon. I think this would instantly fit onto Adult Swim or even on its own on like an HBO or like a Fox. Would you like to see it rather be made into a movie or a cartoon?
I would definitely love to see animation. You know, I've talked to many people about it, and obviously, like the money is in making it live action. But I grew up in the '90s, you know, with Transformers and GI Joe. So I mean, it would be my childhood dream to see that I made my own. You know, and then even when I get older, you know, people, you know, talking about the nostalgia of what Salvagers was on the animated screen. So I would definitely prefer it to be animated. I think that there's more that you could do with animation, but with CGI, you know, it's just as well. But yeah, definitely animation.
Well, Bob, I know you're. I'm going to take over the show and do Kickstarter talk, but I really appreciate you taking the time. You sound extremely busy, and I know you're a busy guy.
Sorry about that.
Thank you for being part.
But yeah, thank you so much for having me. And you know, if anybody's listening and they are thinking about having children, yeah, don't. No, they're great. No, kids are great. Definitely have kids.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, man. I have a great one, Rob. Again, thank you very much. And the Kickstarter is going to be live for another 5 days. So I'm sure you'll share the link. But if you follow me on Facebook, you'll find the link there, and on Twitter and Instagram, all that fun stuff.
All right. Thank you for joining us. And we're going
to. Thanks a lot, Rob.
All right, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get on with our normally scheduled show. I'm just looking at YouTube because for some reason it's acting silly. So I'm just going to get rid of this screen. I have no idea why that was up there. But you guys heard from Bob Salley, and like everything else, and I have a lot of creators always telling me about newer creators, about how they don't have time to create. And I always find that so funny and so telling. Because, you know, I raised my kid, Jax, you guys know how active I am with my son. You guys know the deal. You got Bob Salley who does things. And I always notice, and this is just the truth, I can't stress this enough. The guys who are, and gals, the guys and gals, the people, the folks who are most successful in creating are the ones who are always the most busy, it seems. It's not the ones who are talking about every television show, but rather they're talking about the things that they're creating, and they're interacting with their peers. That's something to keep in mind. Bob giving us time today with everything that's going on. You know, he's mid Kickstarter. It's never an easy time during a Kickstarter, like he'd said at the beginning of the show. He did a shorter one, and I completely understand a shorter one. If I thought I could get my Kickstarter funded in 4 days, I would run a 4-day Kickstarter in a second. It's a lot of stress. It's a lot of stress. You want to keep up with everyone. It's a road. It really is. And I want you guys to keep that in mind when you're making a comic book and it feels so overwhelming that you're not alone. You know, it's just a price. And I tell that to people when I do my panels. That is just the price of creating comic books. You're gonna have to sacrifice in certain places. And the sacrifices are honestly up to you. Only you decide where those sacrifices are going to be. But we're going to get on with the show. I'm so thrilled. What a great beginning to the show. We're going to jump right in. We're not going to bother with the list right now. We're just going to go Kickstarter to Kickstarter because I think the list would almost be out of place right now. Of course, I'm going to start with the Salvagers, and we're going to play the video right now.
Hi. I'm Bob Salley, writer and creator of the blue-collar sci-fi series Salvagers, and you're here because we are kickstarting pre-sale the first issue of Volume 3, The Havoc of Black Bane. Now, if you're new to the series, don't worry, because we have rewards that'll get you Volume 1, as well as Volume 2, and the beginning of Volume 3, and they'll all come to you via Merrill Logistics, the leader in intergalactic transports. Now, we have T-shirt rewards, we have original artwork rewards, we even have a cameo reward that you can get into our webcomic Jasper Starlight Tavern that takes place in the Salvagers universe. And we're going to try to unlock some stretch goals that will only be available to people that are backing. So it's a very exclusive stuff that are in this Kickstarter. Now, keep watching because I'm going to show you some clip art from the interior of the book so you know what you're getting involved in. Thank you very much for checking it out. I hope you enjoy.
That just looks, I instantly think of a cartoon. That has to be a cartoon, in my opinion. I agree with him. I don't think CGI, I'm a fan of cartoons. I love cartoons over movies. Honestly, I would have been happy with a Justice League movie being a cartoon. But we're going to move on from Salvagers, but you shouldn't. I'm going to get the link up as soon as I'm playing the video right here, and I'll get all the links to all the Kickstarters in our video section for you guys. But this is Stealth. Let's take a look at it. Remember, time is running out for these Kickstarters, so do not wait. Back them now. Even if you're like, but I don't get paid till Friday, that's okay. The money doesn't come out till it ends. So keep that in mind. Always look at the end date on the Kickstarter to decide.
What's going on, Kickstarter community? My name is Sean Mack, and I'm the publisher of Short Fuse Media Group. And today I'm here to talk to y'all about a new comic series that we're launching called Stealth. As a publisher, man, I'm really excited about this title. It's been something we've been working on for like the past year. It tells a different story, a different spin on a classic, superhero trope. Whereas, the character Alan White during the daytime is a teacher educating the youth of Terminus City, and at night he's giving the criminals of Terminus City and the evildoers of Terminus City a whole different education. The artwork on this series is phenomenal. I mean, phenomenal. I don't even know another word for it. Beyond that, the story is really well written. It's really heavy character development. It's character driven. Even the city of Terminus City is just really broken down as an actual character for the story that I think you really don't get into. We released the preview issue for the series, and it got great response, extremely well response. Everybody that read it loved it. They asked for more, so we know that getting ready to release issue number 1 and the rest of the series, issue number 2 and 3 following after that, it's just going to get better and better. And that's where you guys come in. If you backed any of our previous campaigns, we deliver immediately as soon as the campaign is over. That's one of the staples that is a hallmark of what we do. We just like to get the books in your hands, and we're so excited for you guys to read it that we just want to get it funded, get it delivered to you, so you can let us know that you love it. Issue number 1 is 32 pages of pure awesome. The book is 100% completed. We're just waiting at the printer for us to give them the word to send off the copies to us. Beyond that, it's a ton of awesome rewards. Just check out the rewards for yourself. I mean, it's everything from t-shirts to, just check it out. So yeah, if you like comic books with awesome superheroes and awesome stories and great artwork that get delivered quickly, you might as well just go on the pledge to this campaign, because we're gonna get this campaign over with, get the books in your hands ASAP. That's how we do it. You already know our sins. We always deliver. So beyond that, I'm gonna sign off on here. I hope you guys can pledge. Thanks for the support.
All right, man. Look at that energy. That's how you should be when you're talking about your books. Let people know you love them. Let people know that they should love them. Speaking of love, let's fall in love with White Lily.
The Germans possess all points of Stalingrad west of the Volga River. Many of our male fighter squadrons have been completely eliminated. Comrade Stalin stated, Not one step back. Combat missions begin this afternoon.
Hello, my name is Preston Poulter, and I'm telling the true story of the two deadliest female fighter pilots in history.
Lieutenant Litvak, I have here an official confirmation of your claim of shooting down a Junker 88. This makes you the first woman fighter pilot in world history to shoot down an enemy plane.
In this exciting issue, our heroines, Lily Litviak and Katya Budanova, will take to the skies, joining the 415th Fighter Squadron.
You picked a flower for me.
They grow here in the snow. Since you had such success in the air the last time, I thought we could use the luck. Also, we need to give our preferred call signs to Captain Baranov. Do you have any thoughts for what you would like yours to be?
Thrown into their first real battle, together, they must fight for the skies of Stalingrad. When I talk about these women to others, I find that very few people have ever heard of them before. They have accomplished so much, yet their story remains largely unknown. That's why we are asking for your support to help get our second issue to print. This comic is already complete, having been penciled by the late Laval Davis, inked by Diana Greenhalgh, colored by Blonde, and lettered by Troy Peters of the Larger World Studios. Our upper tier backers will enjoy the original pencilings from the first issue done by Laval, as well as the ink of the variant cover of issue 2. I have been pursuing this story for several years because I feel like it needs to be told. I am inspired by these women and their accomplishments, and I hope you will help us spread their story.
I don't know about you, but I am definitely inspired by that. How cool is that? And speaking of cool, are you guys ready? Check out the gentleman.
I watch it all escape their eyes. All hope, all understanding. Memories of the good times evaporate from their faces. The lines and lifeless eyes now showcase a myriad of hurt, pain, heartbreak. This is a portrait I've grown accustomed to. It still breaks my own heart to read those changed faces. Not being desensitized at least helps me feel human still. Time heals all wounds, they say. But what exactly do they know? They seem to never take into account the ripple effects that happen. And not everyone is built to bounce back so quickly, unfortunately. Some people, instead of healing, find means to do something stupid.
Hi, my name is Greg Anderson Elise, and I am the writer of The Gentleman, Darkness of the Void. Spinning off from Evolu Zion's SFC Comics line, Darkness of the Void follows the character of the gentleman Oliver Solomon, in a Lovecraftian inspired horror noir story about the haunting ghosts from the past, along with the ghosts from the forthcoming future. In his 4-part miniseries, the gentleman finds himself drawn to a mysterious woman seeking life and protection from a mysterious being of possibly supernatural origins. Unfortunately, to protect her, Oliver must succumb to his special abilities, a hereditary curse that uses his body as a key and vessel to the void, an ancient evil with the means to destroy all life as we know it. This journey will find Oliver struggling with his past, his curse, and the connection to the void. Can this mysterious woman help him? Can she be trusted? What is her connection to Oliver and the void itself?
I'm deeply honored to have been approached by creator Marcel Dupree. I find this character to be both a challenge and refreshing for me to write and develop, especially with the prospect of exploring and tackling Black characters in such a horror noir fantasy setting.
With art by Massimiliano Veltri and Marco Pagnotta.
On behalf of the whole team, we at Evolute Zion Publishing hope that you're willing to take this dark and surreal journey with us. Thank you.
Sorry about that video going off skew for just a couple minutes. I had to let the dogs out. Now 2 more want to go out. But I just wanted to get back here to be able to say that this is an amazing Kickstarter. If you guys are a writer, really pay attention to this. Pay attention to the detail of exactly what they're doing. So this is mind-blowing. And I've already tried it and used it to write already. And I'm in. I got the $100 lifetime subscription package because I really do think this is going to make my life 1,000 times easier.
Ready? Time. Writers today have dozens of text editors to choose from, but none of them really make it easier to write for comic books. When I began writing comics, I wanted a text editor that would take care of the tedious parts of writing to let me focus on my characters and story. Superscript does just that. Superscript formats and numbers page and panel headings for you as you type, even recalculating the numbers automatically when you go back to edit. Superscript also tallies up your spoken word count for page, panel, and bubble. It auto-completes your fictional character names, and unlike web-based text editors, Superscript allows you to keep control over your own documents, to save and share however you want. But we're not quite there yet. We need your help to pay for QA testing, website development, licensing, distribution services, drawing pie charts, more testing, and then more development.
I mean, just imagine the applications for that. How awesome is that, right? Speaking of awesome, Cat and Mouse from Rolling Man. Check it out.
Hi, and welcome to the Kickstarter for Cat and Mouse #1. My name is Roland Mann, and I'm the writer for the comic. Cat and Mouse #1 is the first of a 4-issue miniseries. The first issue contains 22 pages of story and art. And while you can read more about the story below, in a nutshell, this is a crime action drama with a smattering of superheroics tossed in. It deals with an issue that's important to me, and that is the issue of human trafficking and human slavery. It's an epidemic that is often overlooked and is happening right under our noses. And while the theme is an adult one, the book is a general audience book, as we believe this is the kind of story that should be accessible to readers of any age. And we've assembled a rockstar creative team too, at least on the art side. As a fun little piece of trivia, all 4 of us are Malibu Comics alum. In fact, that's how I know Dean Zachary, Mark Kalberg, and Kevin Gallagly. Collectively, we've got over 100 years of experience in our respective skills, but we're not as old as that makes us sound. If you don't remember Malibu, you'll have to look them up, but they're the company that originally published Men in Black. And if Cat and Mouse sounds familiar to you, yep, A Different Story was published in the late 80s and the early 90s by EF Graphics, and then by Malibu's Aircell. The Aircell series lasted for 18 issues and was in the Comic Shop News Top 10 Black and White comics for about half the run. Anyway, thank you for checking us out. There are lots of pledge levels, a little something for everyone. Pledge if you can. Share the heck out of this regardless. We can't do this without your help. Thanks a lot.
Now, I know Roland, and he's an awesome dude. And I can tell you this. He takes creating comics very seriously. So this is going to be a masterpiece. I'm saying it right now. This is going to be something big. You guys are going to be excited. I've read the original comic. It's really cool. And speaking of really cool things, let's check out the Power Knights, Volume 4. I love the kid logo. I promise you, I don't think I muted it. I think this is just a slow start. Yep.
Hello, my name is Keith Jones. I am the owner of Kid Comics. I'm also the creator of the Power Knights. The Power Knights is something that I created, drew, written, and colored. I also had help from Chris Ward, a co-writer and friend of mine. And we are working on issue 4, and that's what this Kickstarter is for. And we're hoping for your support. Please check out our Kickstarter below, and you'll see the details of the story and all the awards that we're offering. I want to keep this short by just saying that the Power Knights, I hope, inspires you to face your challenges in life like it inspired myself. And because this whole journey of making this comic has taken me in places I've never been, meeting folks I've never met, obviously, running into different cultures, meeting, like I said, meeting different types of people. It's been a real eye-opening experience for me. And I put a lot of that experience in the book, including a lot of personal things I dealt with in my life. So I hope that when you read the book that you'll find inspiration in it, and that you'll continue to be a fan of the series and come back for future issues. Once again, my name is Keith Jones. I appreciate your support. Please get into the Kickstarter, find out what this whole journey is about, and let's do this. Thank you very much.
Keith Jones is another one of those rock and roll guys I always see hustling, I always see working, and I always see interacting with the community, which is awesome. But if you're ready to go west, check out Garrett Gunn's Go West Collected Edition. And that was cool. And right to the point, I suppose. We're going to move on to Wales, A Tale of Medieval Horror.
In my nightmares, I am alone, and God has abandoned me. But when I wake, it is much worse. The world outside is desolation. It is a world punished for having forgotten the word of God. I have come to know this age by the sadness of it. I have come to know myself by struggling with the sins it inspires. Just as this plague has gripped tightly the people of this land in its fist, so has its curse fallen on my heart and blackened my soul, which I had cultivated as pure, pointed upwards to the kingdom of heaven. Pure, I no longer am. Europe is shadowed by clouds of smoke from the burning dead, and ashes rain upon those left alive. The Black Plague has vanquished over half of our people. We that living fearfully cling to our faith, believing the blight of the land to be punishment for our transgressions. The wages of sin are death, and death is what we find in common. Death is the language of God and the music of his voice. The people flock to reliquaries, where pieces of our saints are held in gilded reverence. They pay their penance in the form of monetary donations, giving what little they have to further the only institution which still thrives in these broken lands. The Church. I make my own penitence, cloistered behind these walls, cut off from the world in an effort to contemplate the nature of God and atone for my sins. In the shadows of my seclusion, I wait for salvation, but my visions of the God that I serve are changing. I am beginning to understand that I am not alone.
Walls will be a new graphic novel from the mind of Zachary Anderson of Dark Elf Designs, captured in images by Joshua Mitchell Taylor of Gigglemania Studios. The story will be a foray into one of the darkest times in human history, focusing on an original, complicated central character. In this thrilling and demon-haunted world, even the brightest spark of hope is only a shadowed glimmer on the tooth of a predator.
Can I just say how awesomely well put together that was? Honestly, that was a great video. Kudos. Now, this is something very powerful. Speaking of great, let's check out Kanisha, the graphic novel. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So, I mean, kind of cool comic book, right? Touching on something that has been big in the media. I want to see how the comic handles it. It could be a really good thing to be able to use comic books to tell such a story. So I'm excited. And speaking about exciting, get your winter jackets. Let's go to Golexia.
Hi everyone, my name is Kieran Roditelli. I'm the creator and writer of Glashol. Glashol is a book I've been working on for over a year with the artist Rob Cannon. Glashol is a gift I'm making to a young version of myself. The 10-year-old guy that was playing hours and hours to Borderland games and Fallout games inside while Quebec winter was smashing outside. So this Kickstarter campaign is to help that kid dream to come alive. Thank you so much for being on the Kickstarter campaign and being interested or just curious about that project. It's really appreciated. And thank you so much for watching this video. And if you have a question or anything, please message me on Kickstarter, go on Facebook or anywhere. Ask me anything about the project. Thank you so much for passing by this Kickstarter campaign. You can find all the rewards and information under this video. Thank you so much again. It's really appreciated. Have a nice day.
Just imagine being in that kind of cold climate. My back already hurts, but it looks like it's a wild time. Well, speaking of wild times, let's check out the Fantastics.
The Fantastics are coming down. They might be the underdogs going in, brother, but we'll be walking out proud with $1 million stacked high. Thanks, but $1 million, you know, Tom, imagine what you could do to us. Us being only about 5'10" ourselves, I bet it could go clear to the ceiling, brother. I'd like to just stack that up for the fun and just see how high it went.
Hey, folks, this is Bobby Cole of the Fantastics, and I'm excited about what John Crowther and all the great folks are doing concerning a comic book
Bobby Fulton, the Fantastics. I hope you support it. I can't wait to see it out there. It's wonderful.
The Fantastics were Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers, one of the premier tag teams in wrestling from 1984 to 2007. Their feuds with the Sheep Herders and the Midnight Express in the 1980s and 90s are the stuff of wrestling legend and led to many tag team titles, including the NWA United States Tag Team belts and the WCWA Tag Team Championship. Now, the story of Bobby Fulton and the Fantastic comes to Squared Circle Comics, to be told in the high style you come to expect from our comics based on Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Nikolai Volkov, and more. This 24-page comic is the first of 3 planned issues written by wrestling historian John Crowther, illustrated by Javier Lugo, and colored by Blake Wilkie. We need you to make the Fantastics comic book biography a reality. And in return for your support, you choose from our cornucopia of fantastic memorabilia. The comic is available with 3 different colors, one exclusive to this Kickstarter campaign, and another including an original art sketch by Javier Lugo. Of course, Bobby Fulton is also autographing a limited supply of comics, trading cards, magazines, and DVDs for our backers. You can even have yourself drawn into issue 2 of the series, our own original art from the comic, including each of these covers. Join us in creating a fitting tribute to the legacy of Bobby Fulton and the Fantastics, won't you?
All right, now we're going to have to jump out for a second because for some reason the video won't transcribe or code the way I wanted it to. So I want to get this on the show. This is from Frank James Bailey. I think that the video works in here. There we go. I have to look at why the video failed to load. But check this out.
Hello, how are you? My name is Frank James Bailey. I am a voice actor and a writer. I've written 3 books, Turkana Book 1, Our New Home, Turkana Book 2, Dr. Kuhn the Banana Gun, and Turkana Book 3, Trinity Traps. They're available on Amazon.com and Turkana.com as well. My next adventure is a comic book. Now, the only problem is I'm not an artist, I'm a writer, so I have to hire artists to...
Sorry about that, guys.
Make the pages and draw the pictures. Well, this is where you guys come in, sort of. I know I have a lot of fans who like Turkana already. I've written 3 books, and the Turkana fan club on Facebook has well over 3,000 people who like the page or are members of the fan club. And I've reached a lot of people, and people are drawing Turkana as well. So hopefully people will have people will support me in trying to raise money so I can pay my artist and make the t-shirt. I'm sorry, make the comic book, which will be out sometime in 2019. That's the goal. Here's how the t-shirt campaign works. I'm starting t-shirts off at $20 each. Now, if they were any lower, like $15, I'd have to sell at least 50 of them to actually have them make the t-shirt, because you use your credit card and you buy the t-shirt, but none of it is charged until the campaign is over with. And when the campaign is over with, I have to sell a certain amount of them to meet their deadline or their criteria, their borderline. And if I meet that that number, then they print up all the t-shirts, and everything after that is money that I make. So if I sell at least 25 t-shirts, then they'll make all the t-shirts in 30 days. I'm hoping to sell a lot more than just 25, because the more money I raise, the better I can make this comic book look. So I really need your help. This way you get a good looking, cool Turkana t-shirt, and I get to raise money to help fund my comic book of Turkana. So I'd really appreciate it if you were to check out the t-shirt here, buy a t-shirt, and help me fund the next Turkana comic book. Thanks a lot for watching my video, and thanks a lot for buying a t-shirt. Bye-bye.
It's an interesting approach to crowdfunding, wouldn't you say? Not using Kickstarter and doing it a t-shirt at a time. Speaking of something cool and unique, let's check out the Phantom Hawk as he returns.
All right, afternoon, everybody. It's today's mission briefing. It's today's date. Time is 1930 hours. All right, guys. We just received actionable intel on target 08011978. Master Sergeant Maximilian Nicholas Malone, Communications Sergeant, 5th Special Forces Group, former member of ODA 590. We know this guy. We've heard of him. The guy's a legend. For the last few months, there's been reports of an aggressive vigilante in Crestview City, and he's been calling himself the Phantom Hawk. So far, he's been knocking over pharmaceutical companies, mob bosses, and drug dealers. The subject now seems to be content just dealing out a little street justice. No big deal, right? Something we all wish we could do. Okay, so here's where it gets interesting. About 4 weeks ago, we received a blood sample that was sent to a forensics lab in connection with this Phantom Hawk character. Now, their search didn't yield any results, but it ended up in our database. When we intercepted the DNA pattern, we were able to figure out who it is. This blood belongs to Master Sergeant Malone. Now, prior to this, Master Sergeant Malone was believed to be killed in a terrorist attack outside of Crestview City when a secret CIA facility was blowing all to hell. And some government tech was stolen prior to the explosion. So we have it on good authority that not only is Master Sergeant Malone alive and well, but he may have a connection to, if not be, this Phantom Hawk character. Now, it's just a warning letter. As more information becomes available and DC gives us the green light to go get this guy, we will interdict Master Sergeant Malone and recover any stolen government tech in association with this target. But for right now, I want you guys to get some rest, refit, and prepare to move out at 0900. This is Nick Garber, president of Apogee Comics and the creator of Phantom Hawk. I'm so pleased to be launching this project today. I created Phantom Hawk about 25 years ago and started making comics about him in 2011. It has been a long road filled with excitement as I've shared this story with all of you. Now we get to launch Phantom Hawk in the Apogee Comics universe. With a story by Ray Merrick III and drawn by Dino Agor with colors by the fabulous DC Alonso, who's done color work on the Crimson Guardians and War Drums. This story is a continuation of the original series as we move Phantom Hawk further into the Apogee universe with an introduction of his most lethal villain to date, Blood Raven. In this issue, you will see Phantom Hawk face with challenges never before encountered. He no longer has the public trust. The cops no longer see him on their side, and there is blood in the water, so to speak. This will be a trying time for Phantom Hawk as he navigates through this world of deception and setup. So here we are with the Kickstarter. This is where we need your help as backers. Every cent made during this campaign will go towards production and distribution of this comic. We have offered some fantastic rewards for this campaign, including one-of-a-kind Phantom Hawk action figure, as well as pieces of original art from the first 5-issue arc. So if you're a new fan of Apogee or an old fan of Phantom Hawk, the story provides captivating storytelling that not only entices new readers, but offers more to the long-running fans for the series. And I hope we here at Apogee can count on your support and continued expansion. This is Nick Garber of Apogee Comics, creator of Phantom Hawk, hoping that you will back this project. And there's many more projects to come.
All right, guys, moving on to the Cthulhu Kid.
What would a Lovecraftian school for the naughty offspring of mythos characters look like? Hi there, cultists. I'm comic creator and artist Andrew Pauly. You might know me from my several successful Kickstarters for my comic Galaxa Freaks. Along with writer Peter Duncan, we've created a title for you that mashes up the jubilant anarchy of vintage British kids comics and the existential terror of the infinite universe. Cthulhu Kids is a 32-page comic book full of short stories that will in turn tickle your funny bone and then cast you into the void of existential terror. Join Kid Cthulhu, Dagon Jr., Sidney Shoggoth, and the rest of the gang at the Miskatonic Academy for Outer Entities the most exclusive school in the multiverse for the children of outer gods and elder things. The comic is finished, apart from some spaces for special guest appearances from Kickstarter backers, and all the pledge level products are well prepared. So we've come to Kickstarter to fund printing and distribution. A whole range of cool perks are available from membership of the infamous Kid Cthulhu Mythos Madness Club, exclusive hand-painted models, and even a special collector's box full of sketch covers and variant covers. Thank you in advance for your support and bringing this project to life. With your help, we can spread the madness far and wide. So make sure you join in on the anarchic Cosmic Terror Funnies and pledge today.
All right. How cool is that? Gotta love that energy. Ooh. Keithan says that great way to expose the Kickstarter projects. Man, props. Thank you. And Steve said co-founder of Rain Cthulhu. Rain Cthulhu is coming up right now, actually. Here we go.
So you find yourself sitting at your favorite chill spot when a foe walks in. You know they're a rival Reign of Cthulhu faction because of the crest on their shirt. You scan them, player information pops up, the hero they main, user, level, win-loss record, and if they're ready for battle. Challenge them. Once the challenge is accepted, a portal opens up between both players, and a chunk of the Cthulhu sunken city is pulled into our world. The battlefield can be 2 to 6 players in size. You get your first set of cards randomly drawn that represent minions, powers, and equipment, which can be placed on the battlefield. The battle takes place in turns. You and your opponent take territory with your cards, laying the groundwork for the war that lies ahead. The game has just begun, but we're at the end. The world's first native AR multiplayer game will soon be revealed.
That is bad fucking ass. There is no other way to put that. And that's the end of our show today. Or is it? Because I think I saw an email. And I'm going to check to see if I'm right about it. Let's see if I can get this. Let's see how good my skills are. All right. See how good my chi is working. Check this out. I just got an email a few minutes ago. And look, Bob Salley's a backer. The first issue, or the fifth issue too, sorry. Let's check it out. This is the first time I'm seeing it. It's brand new.
Hey everyone, this is Brandon Beatros, writer and creator of The Fist, asking you to come out and support issue 2, which should be out sometime in July. If you're not familiar with the project, it is a crime noir vigilante story that takes place in 1918 Philadelphia. We have some really great rewards this time around, some specialties for Philly customers, so please check them out. Some cool clothing lines, hoodies, and things like that. Also, this is an all or nothing project, so if we don't reach our goal, we will not be funded. So please help make that happen, and everything should be out by July. And check out some of our artwork. You can also read issue 1 for free at blackstonecomics.com. So if you've not checked it out yet, please do so. And thank you very much.
How about that? We're able to get it on the show. Excuse me. As always, I appreciate you guys taking the time with me today to look at all these amazing Kickstarters. And remember, funding a Kickstarter, it's as simple as $1, because $1 can show support. It can bring new worlds to life. It can help get the word out there, because every time you guys back a Kickstarter, that $1 also sends out an email chain reaction to anyone who follows you on Kickstarter. And if you're looking for more information, we have the 7 reasons to back the superscript right here. And if you're looking to run a Kickstarter yourself, make sure to check out Kickstarter for the Independent Creator, 2nd edition, a practical and informative guide to crowdfunding made by Madeline Holly Rising. And Steve Kellogg said, Cindy, he just spoke about ROC. ROC, Reign of Cthulhu, right? Am I getting that one right? Yes, that is on the list. It is right here, Reign of Cthulhu. Excuse me. I suddenly got something stuck in the back of my throat. That's what happens when I try not to sneeze on camera. But I'm going to quickly go over the list because we didn't do the list, so we'll do the list now. We had 7, and you can get all of what's on this list by going to our main menu. Hey, doggies, be quiet. Going to our main menu, hitting the Kickstarter link. Hold on, let me get Cracker out of my room. Go. You're interrupting live time. Go see what's going on in the living room. Silly dogs. All right, like I was saying, the 7 reasons to back Superscript, the comic book writers' sidekicks. Remember, we just talked about supporting Kickstarter only takes $1, and we mentioned Metal and Holly Risings. Amazing informative guide to Kickstarter crowdfunding on Amazon. Today we went over Stealth comic book series launch. We talked about the Salvagers and actually had Bob Salley spend some time with us, and we know how busy Bob Salley is, so we truly appreciate that. And Brandon Breetro said thank you. Of course, Brandon, of course. White Lily issue 2 is featured on the program along with The Gentleman. Superscript is a great Kickstarter, you guys. All these are great Kickstarters. All of them are worth at least $1, but Superscript can change the way that you write, or at least the time you spend writing with reformatting panel 1. Cat and Mouse number 1. Cat and Mouse is back. And this time they're set in New Orleans. The Power Knights number 4, once known as Tyrants of the Galaxy, now bringing excitement to indie comics. Go West, it's a collected edition of Garrett Gunn's stories. Walls, a tale of medieval horror. Kanisha brought to life social issues in a comic book. Galaxia 1 froze us up. Bobby and the Fulton and the Fantastics were fantastic. We found out that you can fund a comic book by actually making a t-shirt. We talked about the Phantom Hawk. We met the Cthulhu kids, and we saw the next generation of games in Reign of Cthulhu. My name is Mr. Anderson, and I am the advocating voice for indie advocates. This is the only show that I'm aware of on the internet, and there should be more shows that showcase the amazing comic books that are available on Kickstarter today. So please go take some time, go support all these wonderful projects. And if you have a project that you want us to support, reach out to us at indieadvocates@yahoo.com. My name is Mr. Anderson, and I'm signing off. We'll see you next week at Kickstarter Talk, issue 21.